Hi guys, it's Morgan, and it's the third and final day of BroadwayCon 2018.
So here's a sampling of the gifts that I received in just the past 2 weeks alone. I am so fortunate. She's too old. She's not old enough. The choreographer thought that others danced more cleanly. The choreographer thought that she danced too cleanly for his style. She was hysterical, so funny, she really gets it. She just didn't quite get the humor of the piece. She looks amazing. Has she put on weight? No. She's just not famous enough. Now, that last gift implies that I have any fame at all, which I guess that's a win. But you get my point, or you don't. Thicken your skin. It is all absurd and confusing. Eat another cookie.
The journey to finding themselves.
Well, it's a part of life, right? We all, through experiences in our lives, whether they be positive or negative, come to conclusions and find ourselves in many different ways, in many different aspects, and as the years go on. And what's so great about getting to play Anya is that against all odds and against all the hardship that she's had to face throughout her life, she's always moved forward with this kind of strength and positivity and perseverance. And I've sort of always felt that way in my life, that no matter what happens, even the hard times make us stronger and make us better. And as a woman, I feel so proud to get to portray another strong woman who has gone through so much and has persevered and succeeded, and there's joy at the end, so it's wonderful. Yeah. There's always joy at the end of the rainbow. There is.
Haley, you go on a journey of your own as well. It may not be Paris, but it is to another world, another part of the island. Tell us about, and also what I love about Once on This Island is we also get to see the people around you, like Julian and Tonton, having to deal with you, and you're finding yourself as well. So it really impacts many people in the show, and that way it's not just a personal journey. Talk with us about your finding your Ti-Moon.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, one of the first things that I really thought about when they asked me to do the show, and I walked out of the room right when they did it, embarrassingly enough, I am following behind not only LaShawne's, who is incredible, but I'm also making my Broadway debut as a teenager, playing a teenager. So I think one of the things that I just realized in one of my last interviews that I did was the thing about Ti-Moon's journey is she doesn't realize all of these milestones. She doesn't realize because she's so driven and she's so passionate about what she wants, and that's to find this boy. So I think it's a really good reminder of, in your everyday life, sometimes you don't take the time to realize, ooh, I made a mini milestone today. Like, I wasn't a super perfectionist about, the show didn't go perfectly, and little things like that, you learn to take in and to really embrace. So I'm really happy that I'm learning those.
Because you love them so much, I want to get to this quickly. I'm going to introduce the creators and then have this wonderful cast introduce themselves. Book, music, and lyrics are by the astounding team of Irene Sankoff and David Hine. Christopher Ashley is the director. Choreography by Kelly Devine. supervision and musical arrangements by Ian Eisendrath. And he doesn't always wear black tie early in the day. Several of these people are going to the Grammys afterwards because he's nominated for Best Cast of Voice. And why don't we start back in the corner? I want this fabulous cast to introduce themselves to you.
Hi, I'm Alex Fink.
And you play?
Janice and others.
I'm DeLon Grant, and I play Bob and others.
I'm Joel Hatch, and I play Claude and others.
Hi, I'm Cesar Samayoa. I play Kevin J. and Ali and others.
I am Q Smith, and I play Hannah and others.
Hi, I'm Astrid Van Weeren, and I play Beulah and others.
Hi, I'm Sharon Wheatley, and I play Diane and others.
Hi, I'm Jen Colella. I play Captain Bass, Annette, and others.
Hey, Gino Carr. I play Oz and others.
Hi, I'm Katrina Bromley, and I play Bonnie and others.
But she really feels like we're doing her justice and that we're doing her story justice, and I think everybody else feels that way as well. It's a great honor, and we do feel that responsibility every single time. I think what's also cool about this particular show in comparison to others is that in this particular climate right now where people are kind of used to being mean, it's a show about kindness and reminding us all that we have kindness in us at all times, and so we can feel the audience leaning forward and wanting that. And
Make you think this is a different kind of experience?
It's special. I've never had an experience like this, and I don't know if I ever will again, but at least I've lived a life where this has happened at some point in my life, and I'm just so grateful. I think we all.
And Alex and DeLon, how has it been entering this cast, which is so bonded?
Yeah, it's just to echo Q. It's like nothing I've ever experienced before. I was walking in Times Square with some friends after they saw the show yesterday, and two Newfoundlanders stopped me, and then the gentleman would not stop kissing my face. And they're a married couple, and he was like just so excited to see me, and I was like, I walked away. My friends were like, "Wow," and I was like, "It's like that all the time." The Newfoundlanders come, and I think that experience and the experience that all of these people had together, where we weren't there, really bred this. I mean, it's also a beautiful, kind story, but bred this like community of love. You know, I remember trying to shake, I think it was Jen's hand the first time I came, and she was like, "Get out of here," and hugged me, you know? After my debut, they all surrounded me, and we all surrounded Alex, and I started crying because it's just such a beautiful, loving space, and I don't know that I've ever experienced that. I've replaced as well, right?
I've replaced, and I was not anticipating the kind of welcome that I received. I've replaced in a company where everyone just kind of like kept their head down, punched in, punched out, did the job, and no one cared if anyone was new, an understudy was not, anything like that. So my first day of rehearsal, when I came into the theater and was meeting the company, I was sort of like, don't speak unless you're spoken to, like keep your head down, just like be nice and don't get in anybody's way. And everybody went out of their way to welcome me and support me, and that's carried me through the rehearsal process, through joining the company, and the community that we have on stage really echoes the community that this show is about, and that is what makes it so special. And I think that's why audiences connect to it on the deep level that they do, is because the love that these people in Newfoundland so generously gave, these people on stage are also giving to each other every night. And I think and then that's passed on to the audience in true sort of communion in that way.
Right, excellent. And
so just read it for sense. Let's see you guys. Don't feel like you need to put any choices on this. Just let's read it again. Okay, so
saying the words.
Yep. So Lock, Stock, and Barrel is left, and then Hope says,
"You were rather brave with them."
I don't care for the policemen. Not those two, anyway.
Policemen protect the peace.
Do they?
Usually.
Didn't I see you, Jen?
Pause. There's a pause.
Pause.
Sorry, I'm not the director.
So in this instance, you'd say like, thank you, Kate.
Okay.
Sorry.
Didn't I see you down by the
So
amenity this
So
morning?
they call them the bathrooms, they call them the amenities.
Yeah.
Because
That
in
makes
this world,
sense.
this post-apocalyptic world in a way,
Yeah.
there's not really a, they don't call them bathrooms. You really,
Right.
There's limited water.
So he's saying-
I'm going to pause on that. So that's the director's job. I've done research in advance. So that way it's okay. So that when they have to ask that question, you can say like, yeah, I've got that answer for you, right? If you notice, and this is totally demonstration, hopefully Max didn't feel bad about not knowing that or feel dumb. Because I mean, they said like, yeah, let me explain that. All good, right? Another phrase I always love to use when I'm directing is, we all want the same thing.
We're on the same team.
We're on the same team. Cool?
You're not versus the other people at the table, are you guys?
No, not at all.
Ever?
So Max, can you pick it up from your line, didn't
Unless
I
you
see
are.
you down?
Didn't I see you down by the amenity this morning?
That was me. I was rushing off to work. First day.
Find your way all right?
The gleaming tower on the hill? Couldn't miss it.
Beautiful.
It's rather shiny, that's true enough. There's another pause. Thank you for pausing.
Did you mean what you said to those policemen about everyone having a heart?
Now, do we want to talk about what I said to the police? Well, I said something about
Sure.
everyone having a heart, or do you want to just keep going? We'll come back to that.
Sure, I'll hold that question for you.
Okay, great. Well, sure I did.
Because mine feels awful cold just now.
Cold.
Or empty, one of the two.
Not because of me, I hope.
Oh, no. Because of something I did.
You just jumped to the bottom.
Or rather, something I didn't do.
If it feels cold, then it must still be there, don't you think?
Unless there's a vacuum where it used to be.
A vacuum in your chest? It sounds so implausible.
I did something wrong this morning is all I'm trying to say. I can't seem to get out of my head.
The vacuum?
My action. I let someone down that I love dearly. I feel real bad about.
Well, maybe that's nature's way of telling you that now's the time to lift someone up.
Really?
Sure. Do you think you'd be feeling as bad as you do if you didn't have a heart?
You guys do the next two lines that are crossed out.
I don't know. I suppose not.
Of course you wouldn't, because then you'd be dead.
Good.
And she sings.
And then we go right.
To have thick skin. We're asked to tell a story that may not be our story, but we have to tell it truthfully and take it on as ours. It's a fine line of finding what your truth is and negotiating your way through, like I mentioned, a lot of noise. We also have things in this business that are called typecasting. So you walk in and right away you haven't sung a note, you haven't said a line, and they're like, thank you very much, thank you very much, thank you very much. And that's hard to not take personally, but yet we have to find a way to do that. I think it's very true that 100 wonderful things can be said about you, 2 negative things can be said about you, and human nature is to hold on to the 2 friggin' negative things that were said about you. Somehow it strikes a chord in us that just resonates in a place. It's interesting because now that I'm a mama, I have a little 3-year-old who out the whole day just tells me new things that, of course, I've known my whole life, but she sets it in a different way. I get to look at colors for hours on end, and she'll say, oh, Mama, do you smell that? No, I didn't until you said, Mama, do you smell that? So the sort of reawakening that happens when you have a little person narrating your entire day, it really changes things for me. And I also see this little person who hasn't been affected by people telling her no she can't yet, and rejection and being labeled. And so her dreams of wanting to be everything from a ballerina to a scientist to an architect to a daddy it runs the gamut. And I thought, God, how gorgeous, because she has not been defined and nobody has told her how to dream. And we as adults choose how we dream and what our limits are because of what we have been told for the last 17, 25, 35, 45 years of your life. And all of a sudden, the scope of your dreams starts going like this because of other people. I'm not saying don't be realistic. I mean, I live in this world. I know exactly who I am and what I need to bring to the table to any sort of audition or meeting. But we got to open it up again to that of a child and kind of deafen to what other people have told us who we are, what we do, and what we're good at. Thank you so very much. Do you know I'm good at another 1,051 things? And I'm going to express myself in that way. So the whole negativity thing, I don't think it's malicious. I don't think somebody's out to get us. I don't think the fellow actor sitting next to me is wishing me ill or lack because they want it. Something that I have heard and I really hold on to is that there is enough success for all of us. There really, really is. It's, I visualize it as a long subway car and someone's got to get off to their location, which gets you on the subway. It's just this really beautiful, even exchange. And if we look at it like that, you can't be angry for the person who got your role. There was a big role in my past that I missed out on. Perhaps you do not know that story. But who am I to be angry at? It's nobody's fault. I just didn't get what I thought I wanted at that very moment. Here's another little airy-fairy sentence, but sometimes rejection is protection. And I have found that. When I look back in retrospect, whether it be 4 months or 5 years, I look back and I go, that's exactly why I wasn't supposed to get that gig. That's exactly why I wasn't supposed to be in that town. And my life has really shown, and I can attest this without, speaking for others, I can attest this for a lot of people. We really are meant to be exactly where we're supposed to be, and you're learning the lessons you're supposed to learn to take you to the next level.
Year one at BroadwayCon, through a very special video announcement by one and only Josh Groban. Josh came to BroadwayCon via video and announced that Danae would be playing the lead role in Natasha Pierre and the Great Comet of 1812. Since then, Danae went on to play the role, received a Tony Award nomination for her performance as Natasha. Tell me about what has the ride been since that moment, since Josh announced you, to 2 years later down the road.
Oh my gosh, I feel like I got like a PhD in being an adult. It was, yeah. It's just, you are thrown into your dreams becoming a reality and everything that comes along with that. The highs and the lows and the taxes, and it's, it's a lot.
You think it's all glamour, that tax bracket changes.
It changes. But it was a dream, and just the learning experience and getting to work. Josh was just the kindest, most lovely person I get to do that with.
We have
Hi, Broadway theater nerds who I totally love.
Okay, you know better than anyone. Nobody gets to be on this side of the stage without first being somebody who would be on that side of the stage, and that's just the gosh honest truth.
It is.
Truths.
It is.
Truths. What makes Broadway magical to you, Stephanie?
I think that it is a living, breathing thing. We have so much that, and this is no disrespect to the other mediums, but TV, film, even the social media, it kind of just goes out there and technology brings it back and we relate to it in a way that's completely different when it's on a human level. And theater, I'm so happy to say, is so alive and well because of you guys. And I think the humanity and the storytelling that it brings still has that energy that changes every single night, changes every single performance, changes every single song. So I love this. I love that I didn't know what you were going to ask. You guys are there to listen. I could totally F it up. It's my fault. It could be great, and that's my success. And it's all happening in the moment, and that's kind of real life. So that living, breathing element to theater makes it magical.
I think most people in this room would probably agree. We had this to look forward to. We hope you had this to look forward to. I think this has proven that this community can create an oasis of hope and positivity and love and joy in this sort of sea of nonsense that we're having to navigate these days. So thank you. You help lift us up, and we hope we help lift you up.
you know, we are, the people who make this convention are the people who want to go to this convention, and that is how we make the convention. What would we want? And so thank you for, a lot of you have been coming up to me and to Anthony and to the rest of our staff saying thank you for this weekend, but thank you for bringing the energy that you brought this weekend, because that's what made it what it is.
It's true.
I love you way more. No, I'll fight you.
Down the street, and you ain't got enough to eat. The glitter of